Hey everyone, it's Hydro Pump here. We finally got finished with Peak of the Beak 3 today, and Yandane, sorry if I'm butchering your name, managed to win the tournament with hybrid Black Wings. But we're just going to go over the top deck list here and check them out. So just basic information for the tournament. This was like a multi-day tournament, lasted almost a month, like about 3 weeks, because each round is it's like a Swiss style tournament, so rounds last 48 hours. So there was 7 rounds because there was 91 players, so a little bit more than the past Peak of the Beak. So I think the past ones were like 80 some players, so about the same amount of players. And yeah, so there was 7 rounds of Swiss, and then it was the top 8 break. And just to check out the information here, because Jazz always has like a cool breakdown of information here. Just like look at the decks. There's a lot of Value Turbo 14. That was interesting. I think that's the first time we've seen. Well, I guess they're about the same. So we have 14 Value, a lot, 8 Black Wings like pure, and then like 4 hybrid builds. So how many is that? We have 22, 26. So pretty much about over a quarter of the decks in this tournament were Vayu or Blackwing, which is pretty interesting. It seems like a lot of people started playing these decks again because they kind of fell off a little bit. I guess people were just playing other things, other decks they wanted to test out, or I'm not really sure what the deal was, but it looks like it's back up to like a good amount of the format. Most represented decks here. We had 4 Fairy, 4 Hero Beat, 3 Aggro Dragon, which is interesting, 3 Diva Hero Beat. This is a little bit different than Hero Beat. Hero Beat's a little more like stun based, whereas Diva Hero Beat has like divas splashed in to like compensate for like water. 3 Frog Monarch, 3 X Saber. Interesting. 3 Machina Gadget, 2 Diva Zombie. So wait, there's barely like any zombie players in this tournament, which is kind of crazy. There's only 2 Diva Zombie. Well, there's like more variants. There's Diva Hero Zombie, so there's 4 right there. So technically, there's 4 zombie decks. There's 2 Diva Frogs. Looks like Jazz really went ham with the breakdown here. There's a lot of like sub, decks here. Like you have the Hero Beat, Diva Hero Beat. That's good to show like just more information, so that's nice. So anything crazy, and there's like just like a million one-ofs decks here. So yeah, you can look at all this information if you want. And categories here, just kind of like, there's 34 aggro decks, 21 control, 20 multiple. I guess that's like decks doing multiple things because they can do that. You can be kind of controlling and aggro at the same time. Kind of just depends on what half of the deck you draw, but some cool info there. Some 7 combo. And most popular card in the main deck was Dimensional Prison, which D Prison's pretty good, and you get to play it at 3, so that's why you see it more than Bottomless Trap Hole, just because an extra copy. You got Caius, Reiko, and then a bunch of staples pretty much, and then side deck DD Crow, Dust Tornado, and mostly the usual. Anyways, we're gonna jump into it was a top 8 cut, but I guess he just likes to show like the decks that are like kind of bubbled, because they did also go X2. So while some players that went, what was it, 5 and 2 made it in, some didn't due to tiebreakers. Anyways, we got we're just gonna go with Tig. They managed to make I guess 9 through 12 with Quick Draw Frogs. Quick Draw Frogs is pretty cool, just because it like naturally lets you go in the Drill Warrior, so that's nice. Just you get Treeborn Frog out, now you just need to discard for junk or quick draw synchron, which be done with Dandelion or any of your frogs you want to get out of your hand. So that's kind of cool. You'd also do a Battle Fader. So yeah, cool deck. You got the 5 Monarchs, 1 Debris Dragon, and Junk Synchron. I don't know if this deck really. It's kind of weird. It's like it's a cool interaction because you get to like loot Monarchs and stuff with Drill Warrior. But I don't know if it necessarily fixes anything because like you still kind of get wrecked by the same cards like Oppression, Deck Dev, yada yada, Grave Hate. So don't know if it really fixes anything for the Frog deck or the Quick Draw deck. But it's definitely interesting. And he has like some stun cards here. It's Sirocco's, Vanity's Fiend, and Dust Tornadoes. 1 Soul Release. I think this card's kind of, or Soul Exchange. I think Soul Exchange is kind of slept on. Card's kind of broken. I feel like, because like they DD Crow your Treeborn Frog, no problem. I can still tribute summon. Soul Exchange, take your guy, summon Monarch. The game's over. So anyways, cool quick draw Frog deck here. Let's exit out of that, and we got Chai Tea here with Fairies, Pure Fairy. I faced Chai one of the rounds in Swiss, and I was able to win. It was definitely close though. I think I won 2-0, but it was. I didn't feel like I should have won, but won those games anyways. Through Christia, you pretty much have to play 3 Christia. Anything less than that's kind of like not really sure what you're doing. Side Rally, I feel like Side Rally is just kind of like a staple at this point. Get off Recruiter, Mind Control. Mind Control also works with Orange Light, so that's pretty nice. DD Warrior Lady. I really like DD Warrior Lady, but I feel like you just need to focus on your fairies more so. Maybe a 3rd Recruiter would be nice. I'd like to see a 3rd Nova Summoner potentially, just because it's a fairy and you're playing a fairy deck. But Warrior Lady definitely helps with Black Wings and Vayu like game 1. If this gets hit by Deck Dev, which I think actually came up in my match against Chai, where I Deck Dev and hit their DD Warrior Lady, so kind of hurt them, but solid card overall. 1 Freed. Freed. I'm a fan of Freed. He's a G. And I don't know, maybe want to bump him up to 2. I'm not sure. Not really sure where the Freed number stands at. Oh, he does side deck to 1 other copy, so. And 1 Raikou just for the mind control. Where you can mind control like a hamster and then flip it and then get Raikou just so you can get some value out of it. I'm just going like technically -1 on the interaction unless you have Orange Light, which then I guess in a sense is still -1. Book of Moons. We're doing the Yada thing that Pro Storm was on. Not against it. Yeah, I'm not. I guess 1 Compulse. Not really. That's kind of cool with Christia, because you throw Christia out there, they balance. Okay, and like they're not balancing anything else. Let's say balance Warrior Lady. So you got bounce it back. You still add your card. So it's kind of like a nice little interaction there. In the side deck, we have the Kaikus, Orbs. So a lot of Vayu hate with Orb and Kaiku. 3 Dust, 2 Mask. I don't know if there's anything too crazy with the side deck. But yeah, congrats to going X2, almost topping Chai. Again, just lost out on tiebreakers. So, and we got Azul here on Black Wings. Looks like pure Black Wings, or Cameron Saunders Black Wings, because he main deck Cyber Dragon. I guess that's his claim. claim the fortune with Cyber Dragon. Anyways, we got all the staple Blackwing monsters. All, what is it? All 17? Yeah. Kind of just have to play all these guys. And then we got 2 Cyber Dragon dead, so 20 monsters. We got 2 Book of Moon. I've been kind of iffy on Book of Moon. Like, it's okay. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of hard to, like, you know, pinpoint where Book of Moon stands in the format. Or, like, because there's just so many matchups. I guess the best thing is that, you know, it stops brain control, which could just be, like, crazy card again, too. We have Play and Protection if you know, to protect your guys if you do have to book your own guy because you have 3 Prison and, you know, Mirror Force. So they are on 3 Prison and Mirror Force. I think from my Blackwing build I was on, okay, obviously they're on the 2 Cyber Dragon, which I wasn't playing. I was main decking 2 Dust Tornado, and then I main deck a Compulsive or Mirror Force, so I think that's the changes from the build I won with Peak of the Beak 2 with, which was the last Peak of the Beak tournament. And was their side deck 2 Crow, 2 Dyna, 2 Snowman, 2 Limb. You know, Snowman, just want to say, really helps out against stuff like Hero Beat, because that deck can be annoying. Anyways, you know, I think Blackwings can kind of struggle with Frog Monarch, but this looks a little too hateful with the 3 Rugs, 2 Oppression, 2 Master Restrict, 2 Crow, 2 Dyna. So I guess my one gripe with the side deck is that, you know, if you go against Frogs, you have, like, I think it's a problem with people side decking. Like, you side deck all these cards that are generally good against, like, Frogs, but then you go to side deck and then you end up like, oh, I have like 10 cards I want to side in against Frogs, which I think is overkill, and then it like leaves you like really like light-handed against other decks. So then you're like, well, what did I side against other decks? You just figure it out. But yeah, you just have a lot of things you can potentially side against Frogs, and Rug and Master Restrict are like hard counter to Frogs, already on top of the things that already. The other cards are good against Frogs, so probably want to slim these cards down. Like, you probably don't want Master Restrict. Kind of conflicts with the Icarus attack if you're keeping that in. And Rug, I mean, Rug's probably good enough, but there's other things. Like, you're already on the Dyna, the Crows, the Oppressions, and the side, so I think you can probably drop these to some extent and fit other things in. But yeah, that's Zoo's or Azul. I don't know. Blackwing deck. That you got 10th Plith, and we got Spice. Again, sorry if I butcher like anyone's names. I can't read. Anyways, we got a Junk Frog. Oh, we got the Hero Frog deck with Junk, featuring Junk Synchron. Some cool things here. We have the Battle Fader, the Dark Dust Spirit. This card is pretty nice. Dark Dust Spirit, just wipe the whole board. And it just bounces back to your hand too, so that you can just keep on using it. So it can be really obnoxious. It's like a never-ending Monarch, and it's like you have to like deal with it. Like other Monarchs, like Kaya, surprised that like the damage is done with them, but like on summon. But Dark Dust just keeps on coming back, and you have to address it somehow. So arguably this card's even better when you play more Fader, because like they really can't do anything to you then. But I haven't really seen too many builds play more than a couple, like 1 or 2 Faders though. And we got the hero engine here. We got 1 Alias, 1 Stratos, 2 Evil Guy, 1 Malicious Edge. Evil Malicious Edge. No Ocean. I know Frazier was on Ocean. It was like they opted to play Alias, one thing Ocean has going for you is that you can go summon Stratos, get Ocean, and then ditch Ocean to summon Swap, and Swap sends Treeborn, and then you can bounce Swap or Stratos, which you're probably gonna. I don't know. It just kind of depends what you want to bounce, but probably. I mean, I don't know. Depends what the rest of your hand is. If you have more heroes in hand, you probably want to bounce Swap. If you don't have heroes, then you probably want to bounce Shadows. But yeah, just like turn one, like gets Treeborn in the grave. It's just another way, and it gets like the heroes, and it gets your Miracle Fusion live like turn one, like instantly. So which doesn't really happen in any other case. So I thinking Ocean might be better than Alias, because Alias is literally a vanilla in this deck. So just some food for thought. Could even potentially play Bobbleman over Ocean. That might be a little too crazy, but I can see merit of Bobbleman in this deck. Just like post side maybe. Like okay, they banish your Treeborn Frogs. You go E-Call, get Bowman, summon Monarch. Or you're top decking, you top deck a Bowman, and you just summon him. Or you top deck a E-Call. So I could definitely see it, just because, I mean, it does get hit by deck dev, so there's that. But, you know, Bowman can kind of be cool, so I haven't really tested it, but I can see something neat there, potentially. We got 2 Junk Synchron, just combos really well with Swap Frog, and I just noticed something weird with this list. I see 2 Swap Frog. I don't know. I feel like you probably want 3 of this guy. It's pretty good. He bounces your Monarchs, reuses them. I see Upstart Goblins in here, but I don't know. I feel like you just want to keep the 3 Swap Frogs. Maybe this is a hedge against like deck dev. Just like, so you're technically playing less frogs that can get hit by deck dev, but I don't know. Might be worth exploring, might not be. Might be crazy talk, but I think this is the first time I've seen 2 Swap Frog instead of 3. So that's and then you're playing Junk Synchron too, so that's even more confusing. Anyways. I think that's about it for the monsters. Like everything else is about standard. 1 E-Call just to get to Stratos, and then one for one. This card's good just to get dupe block, but aside from dupe block, I find like if you're not playing like, I think if you're not playing the utility frogs like Unifrog or potentially Flip Flop Frog, this card's not as good. Like it's still solid, but like you're just setting a dupe block, and I can see it being dead late in the game. So interesting. 1 pot of Avarice. I don't know if this is totally necessary, but yeah, go for it. We got Rhoda, 2 upstarts, Raigeki Break, and Trapdoor Shoot. And I think Fraser's build, at least, he had like T-Roars and stuff in the main deck. We're not doing that here, apparently. Which I don't play frogs. I need to experiment with the frogs. Learn for the Frog Master, Ronnock, probably. Anyway, sideboard, they got 3 Vanity Fiend, Cyber Dragons. This is good against when your frogs get banished or you just don't have access to them. It's a pop out Monarch. 3 Soul Exchange, the card I was just hyping up a little bit ago. Got 3 in the sideboard. Cracked card. Again, really nice when you don't have the Treeborn Frog access. And 3 Dust Tornado. Mirror Force, Raigeki. Okay. Well, that's I think that's all the lists that did not top. Okay. We got Georgian. Yeah, okay. We got Cyberjar here. Sorry for butchering your name. We got Diva Hero Beat here in top 8. Yeah, just going through the list, you see 1 DD War Lady, which is interesting. I guess just to beat something, or just, you know, get set down. Not really sure here. What I guess it's nice against recruiters, otherwise you just have to beat over a recruiter, which doesn't really feel good. So it's nice against like fairy or zombie, so there's that. 3 Diva, 2 Gilman, Alias, Ocean, Stratos, 2 Honest. I'm not really sure how I feel about Honest without Cyber Dragons, because then you're just on Alias. I mean, I guess you technically got a DD War Lady, but I don't know, it's just a little strange. I guess you can make Android too, so these are technically can be lights if you want them to be, but it's like a little too ideal. Maybe not, I'm not sure. You got 2 E-Call. I see a lot of people on 2 of this. Just 2 E-Call. I know Future Fusion's nice, but maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's crazy to say like play 3rd E-Call over Future Fusion, just because E-Call is Stratos, which gets you a hero. Where this, you know, it dumps 2 heroes, or 2 cards to make absolute 0 in the future, but it doesn't get you anything for 2 turns. I mean, it turn into absolute 0, but it's not netting you anything unless you do summon absolute 0. So I guess it's kind of like a Gold Sark thing. Like you gotta deal with this card in a couple turns. So I guess that's fair, but I don't know. Not playing 3 E-Call is a little weird. Like, not weird, but I don't know, I feel like I would want 3 because, you know, your main boy Stratos here. It's just crazy. Anyways, we got 3 Spark, 3 Miracle. Spells are pretty standard. You got 3 Prison, 2 Bottomless. I think it's kind of like a main state for these decks. At this point, we got Call the Haunted. The combo's nice with like Ocean and Stratos, so there's that. Potentially Honest too. We got 1 Dust Tornado, 2 Hero Blast. See, a lot of builds just play 2. I guess 2 is just kind of like the standard. 3 can, I guess, is too cloggy for this deck. And we got 2 Yada, just so like people aren't like blind blowing up your stuff. So, and we got Mirror Force, Solemn, Road, Torrential, and Trapdoshi. I don't know how I feel about Yada in this deck. I guess it helps you dig for Miracle. But I feel like your deck just kind of naturally stalls till you find Miracle anyways, so I guess you're just really banking on them popping your back row, and then you activating this. Interesting. And then side is 2 Banisher. Banisher's pretty gross against the Recruiter decks. I've seen this firsthand against zombies in a tournament where I sided this in. It's like Banisher straight up soloed his entire hand. So Banisher is really good, underrated sideboard card at the moment. Yeah, siding the 2 Cyber Dragon, siding the Grand Mole, 2 Snowman, Dust, the Limbs, the Rugs, Oppression, and Road. So side decking a lot of stuff that can potentially be in the main board, but not in the main board. Overall, looks pretty solid for Diva Hero Beat. So congrats to making top 8. Now we got Rog's, I don't know, Rog's Frog deck. He managed to make it an X2 off the excellent tiebreakers he had. I think he was X2 really early on, and him and Silches had to play. Like Silches, yeah, they had to play, and unfortunately, Team Suicide. Anyways, Rog is on some crazy Frog Hero deck, and we're gonna go through it. So 3 Caius, the only Monarch in the deck. Crazy. Destiny Hero Defender. During each of your opponent's standby phases, your opponent draws 1 card. This must be face-up defense position to activate and resolve its effect. So we get it with the Appropriate. Which he does not play. 2, frogs. Ocean, Stratos, 2 Woodsmen. Once returned during your standby phase, add 1 polymerization from your deck to your or grave to your hand. Which the plays the 1 poly, so got 2 Woodsman for this recycling poly, which is neat. Then you get the tree 1 frog, so I guess if Woodsman sticks around, then you automatically get a Absolute Zero, which is cool. You got the 1 junk synchron and Unifrog with the utility frogs. Got 2 E-Call. He bumped this. Well, I guess he played more because he has the Woodsman, so that's cool. More Stratos. And you got the 3 Miracle, Poly, and what the heck is this card? Inverse Universe. Switch the attack and defense of all face-up monsters on the field. So, this makes your Frog, Substitute, Dupe Frog, Destiny Defender, Woodsman ginormous. That's a cool card. And you can activate it in damage calc, so there's that. Might be good in a Destiny Hero Defender deck. 27 beater to the face. Anyways, we have Mirror Force, 3 Roar, and 3 Wabaku. I assume this is to keep your Woodsman alive. That's the, guarantee Absolute Zero. So that's pretty neat. Cyborg, 3 Crow, 3 Dyna. Just a lot of hate. Just a lot of hate. We have 1 Warrior Lady, because you can get it off Rhoda, which is cool. He's back on this GB Hunter nonsense. I guess because it can get huge because of that trap card. And Green Kappa to Rhoda target, even though it doesn't look like it. You can pop back row. You got 2 Pokemoon and Balance Dust Tornado. So yeah, pretty cool deck from Rog here, and another Rod player making it in top 8. We got Mercenary V or 5, I guess. This is why 1 loss in Swiss, because I also topped this tournament. Mercenary was on Vayu Turbo. And we're going to check out their list. So we got 2 Armor Knight, 2 Grepher. I guess the main dispute now is if you go 2 Armor, 2 Grepher, or 1 Armor, 3 Grepher, and so on. So, interesting point topic. I'll probably dive into more in my next video where I go in depth with my deck profile. My deck that I topped with. We got Gale, 3 Sirocco, 3, 2 Caius, and 1 Sork. The Sork got me pretty good in our match. Kind of messed me up. Necrogarden, and this in my testing, Necrogarden was pretty good. The card seems mid at first, but like it being a warrior is pretty nice just because you can go Rhoda, ditch for Grepher. Just so you're not ditching like another Armageddon or Grepher. So pretty cool, and it definitely saved me a good amount of games. So there's that. We got the Reikos and 1 Hamster, 1 Book, and we got Return and 1 Oppression, which is interesting. So we got Return and Chaos Sorcerer. I think I saw a match. I'm not sure if it was Mercenary, but yeah, I think they were under the assumption that you can get Armed Wing back with it, which is not the case because you summoned it with Vayu. So not sure if that came up on accident at all, but I think that came up in their top 8 match. So interesting. Yeah, you cannot, because it's not a 6 or like a. Can't think of the word right now, but it's like not a correct synchro summon. It's a special summon off Vayu effect, so you can't get it back. Sideboard, 1 Dyna and 1 Vanity's Fiend is interesting. 1 Vortex, 2 Deck Dev, 2 Dust, Mind Crush, Rugs, and Oppression. So, and I'm not sure if there's anything crazy with the extra deck. I think this is the same extra deck as mine, but I did not play Thought Ruler, which I'll go over in my in-depth break down my deck profile. So congrats to Mercenary making top, and we got GYBU. Says that you got 5th, but you actually made top 4, so it should be like technically 3rd. But they were on Blackwings. Is this? There 2 Blackwing decks, or okay? Are they on the same list? Okay, I think they were on the him and Azul were. I think they're on the same list. So that's interesting. Same side deck? No, different side deck. Azul has like the Omega Frog Hate side. GYBU kind of. Yeah, he definitely has like a lot of Frog Hate still. Might be a little overboard, but tone it down a little bit. He has the mind control in the side, so that's kind of nice against like Reiko decks. If you want to take their guy. Be a little dicey though. You do have tuners with Blizzard and Gale, so mind control isn't the worst. Yeah, so, I mean they're pretty much about the same list, so I kind of already talked about it. So congrats to GYBU for making the top 4. And we have ATrueHero. Oh, yeah, ATrueHero, GYBU, and ATrueHero should be swapped because I played ATrueHero in top 8 in one. So ATrueHero made top 8 with Diva Hero, the old, or like the original, not Diva Hero Beat or yeah, whatever. Just straight up Diva Hero with like dark stuff. So we got 3 Caius. 3 Caius, it may seem like a lot, but you can kind of make it work with Malicious and evil guy here. So, and we got the 1 Greffer, which is nice with Rhoda. You can, you got Plague in hand, you can get Greffer, Malicious. So, it also gives you utility with Rhoda, because otherwise, if you weren't playing Greffer, you probably can't get away with playing just Rhoda, because literally the only warrior you play that you can grab is Stratos. So playing Greffer actually makes it so you can play Rhoda, so that's nice. And then we got 3 Diva, 1 Galeman. It's nice to see 1 Galeman and not 2 in a deck, like the Diva Hero Beat deck. And Diva's a little nicer in this deck just because you do have Malicious, so there's that interaction there. You can make some level 8s. You got Gores, Mystic Tomato. Tomato's cool because you can get Malicious or Sangan. Leg. I think that's about it. And it kind of makes your Caius like a little bit, floater for Caius. So it's a nice interaction. And you got Treeborn for the Future Fusion play, which you do have 3 Caius, so kind of makes your Treeborn a little bit more worthwhile. So Kai's kind of tying in nicely with this deck, and you got there's a bunch of broken spells. You got Allure, Brain, Econ. I'm not sure if this is like a new addition to his deck, but you can kind of just plop a bunch of monsters out. You got Treeborn, you got Evil Guy, you got Malicious, Diva can get Gilman, so you can get like you have a lot of ways where you can just like you get more monsters on the field, and you can just Econ 2 for guys. So that's cool. Or Synchro. Get plenty of tuners. 2 Gold Sark, just put your opponent on the clock. It's actually pretty solid in this deck. Just get you whatever you need at the time. You get the 1 Storm, 1 Mind Control, Miracle, and yeah, a lot of good spells. This is where it gets a little hateful. We got 1 Bottomless, 1 Deck Dev, 1 Mind Crush. Not sure how I feel about these in the main. Like, yeah, you got like a lot of darks. Like at 3 Caius. Diva can beat Cataster. I don't know how I feel about it in the main deck. I guess it can give you freebies, but like, I guess decks you probably struggle against, like Blackwing, Vayu, because they made deck Oppression which this deck looks a little weak to oppression. Like, this card doesn't do anything, this card doesn't do anything. So I feel like this might be a little bit win more in the main deck, and these would be fit better in the sideboard. Whereas maybe you want some stuff to hate oppression like Wind Blast. Like, I feel like Wind Blast would be kind of nice, just in case your hand's a little cloggy. You can dish a Tree Worm Frog, a Malicious, so on, like Plague. Just, you know, get things rolling. You set your opponent behind a little bit, it clears the way some, or you can fit like another Bottomless in there. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if these guys are totally necessary. Mirror Force, Torrential, there's a bunch of staples in return. Just kind of crazy stuff. So yeah, I guess the only two changes maybe I would make is just kind of replace these with something else. Deck Div and Mind Crush, put these in the side. And he's only on the one Deck Div, so I don't know. I feel like you just want to put it in the sideboard. Anyways, we got the, bunch of staples pretty much. Smash and Ground, I think it's the only list that's on Smash in this tournament, so that's interesting. Kind of almost forgot this card existed. And yeah. You guys probably seen this deck a million times because ATrueHero has his own YouTube channel. Check it out. He covers this deck. This is his deck, his go-to deck. He is the long-standing Diva Hero player, and he kind of made it come back a little bit. It's been picking up in popularity a lot recently, so yeah, check out the deck, check out his channel, and yeah, congrats to him for topping. And we got Lidiob, probably butchering your name. He is on Hero Beat, not Diva Hero Beat, just Hero Beat. So we have a lot of hero decks, let's just say that. There's a lot of variations of different decks at this point in the Edison format. Anyways, we got the Cyber Dragons, the Honest. So this is what I was talking about. Like, you got Cyber Dragons and Alias that work with Honest, kind of straight up. You don't have to like go Diva in a Android or something like that to get your Honest slide. Like, it's kind of like just a nice flow, I guess. You got the one jar. I saw Guari on this. I thought it was hilarious. I think he actually beat Rog in the 3v3 with it. Rognok, because they played, and like he just flipped this on his turn, and Rog just lost. Like, it just went out of control from there, because you just draw your Miracle Fusions and whatnot. All your traps are set. So I think Jar is actually like low-key nasty in this deck. And if you can combo, like if you have like the flip guys that are just nice, like you have Snowman and Dynas in the mix, it's really hard for your opponent to predict like what is set and like what's going to happen. Like, you can make like I guess the only way you're safe somewhat is if you make Stardust. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of hard to like deal with. Like, it could be a set Dyna, it could be a set Snowman, this could be a set Jar. Like, I feel like you have to tack into it, not knowing what it is. So it's interesting concept, but this is a Earth for Gaia Fusion. So it's Grand Mole, so nice utility there, and you got Snowman. Potentially even bump up Snowman to 2, because you only have the 3 waters in the deck. So I feel like maybe have a second Snowman would be nice. I think that would just wrap up the monster lineup really well. Not on the Captain Gold thing. I think people kind of moved away from that because it doesn't really fix things. Like, okay, say your opponent has Sirocco, and you summon Alias, you have Skyscraper. You attack, they collude, you still lose the Alias. And then you're facing down frogs. They're just chilling on their Duke Frog, and it does nothing to the Duke Frog. So it's good in some cases, Skyscraper is, but like it's to be main decking it, I think it's kind of like a little hit or miss. So, but it can be definitely good in some matchups. We got 3 E-Call here, just like consistency right here at its max. Huge Fusion, Sparks, Miracle, yeah, okay. And just a lot of traps. 2 Bottomless, 3 Prison, Call, Compulse, 2 Hero Blast, 1 Wing Blast. Not really sure what this is about, because you're not on the Diva stuff, you're now malicious. Yeah, I don't know, this one's a little weird. And 1 Skill Drain, also a little weird. Like, this deck can play Skill Drain, but you have like all your flip dudes, so I don't know. It looks like it's just like on a lot of one-offs, like 1 Book, 1 Wind Blast, 1 Skill Drain, 1 Compulse. I don't know, I think you should, I don't know, just like, this can't find, like, these are just filler cards or what, but I don't know, I feel like something else gotta be it. But, you know, you got him to top 4. Solemn Judgment, Road, Torrential, and then the sideboard Gores, so I think I saw a lot of people walking the Gores in their matches. Heavy Storm, not main decking the Heavy Storm, but siding it for, I guess, Black Wings or some kind of mirrors. And yeah, just a lot of hateful cards for the rest of the sideboard, like everyone else. But yeah, overall, I like the list. It's just kind of like, you know, not trying to do anything crazy with divas. You know, just hero beat, and then you have like some crazy utility cards, which can be hard to deal with. So yeah, congrats to making top 4. And I'm not gonna go over my list. I played Vayu. I'm gonna do a separate video tomorrow, just covering the deck. But my own deck list and how things went, and then I'll do another video of like the replays of each of my matches, kind of like how I usually do on my channel. But yeah, this tournament I played Vayu Turbo. I haven't really played Vayu Turbo very much. I played it in a tournament before, but like over a year ago. But that's about it. So getting second place with it was nice. So yeah, I'll do a in-depth breakdown of my own deck profile and card choices and all that in the next video. But I did get second, and we our champion here, Yon Domain. I don't know. I gave up on names, but they are on Hybrid Blackwings, and I haven't seen Hybrid Blackwings do well in a while. I guess I don't know if they did well in the 3v3 or not, but yeah, I haven't seen it win a tournament in a while. So probably like a good. It's probably like the winner last year, like winter of last year, like November or before that, where it was like rampant just everywhere with like the nomen of exterminations and all that. But looks like the deck list adjusted a little bit to run some more defense. So yeah, you know, all the Blackwings plus 2 Vayu, and then they're on the 2 Gruffer. So I think I saw a list from the 3v3 where they're on, or it was some recent tournament where they're on 3 Gruffer and then 2 Bora, but just swap it up here. So it's more so like a Blackwing deck, and then you got a bunch of Vayus. And then I think the spell line is about similar to a regular Blackwing deck, aside from not playing Book of Moon. You know, Book of Moon's solid, but it could be kind of hit or miss. 2 Bottomless, 2 Deep Prison, 3 Icarus, and main deck into 2 Oppressions. I think this is good in this deck just because, like, even a little bit better than regular Blackwings, just because you can just pump out some of you guys. Like, you just got Gruffer fueling the Armed Wings with the Vayu and stuff. Like, you just throw a bunch of guys out on the field, flip Oppression on their, like, crackback, and then just kind of fold from there. Or vice versa, you can just summon Armed Wings for free. So yeah, this is a really good Oppression deck. And sideboard. The sideboard is probably the most notable thing with this list. I think this is like almost a net deck of Spiral list. I saw it on Format Library, but you can look it up. But it was pretty close, or it was a Sam's list, I think, at the last peak of the beat. I don't remember. Anyways, they added Thunder Kings to the sideboard. Not really sure what this is good against. I guess maybe like Hero Beat. You know, keep them off the E-calls and such. Might be, it's not great there, but it's okay. I it kind of walks into Hero Blast too, so I guess it's good against recruiters, but you have a lot of hate against recruiters. So, anyways, most notable thing is 3 cross out. This kind of got me an R match. Got hit my Reiko. 3 cross out. It's a lot of cross out. Sided against Vayu. I don't really know what else you sided against because you have 3 deck dev. So unless you're siding deck dev and cross out and there's just like nothing else, then you already have oppression. It's a lot of hate. Might be a little bit too much hate. But I guess he just wants to prioritize opening cross out, maybe. I'm not sure. Might be a trend. That's coming up. Just hit, like, guarantee you hit the Reiko, like, ASAP. But you kind of also run the risk of it being dead a lot, so it's a little bit of a dicey card. But I guess if it works, it works. Might even want to do a mind control instead of like maybe do 2 cross out and a mind control. But maybe just trying to, like, get rid of all the crap, like no hamster, no Reiko, just But mind control could be pretty good too. But yeah, the reason I'm kind of surprised by 3 cross out is because there's 3 deck dev. So most things you go deck dev against will be good with cross out would be also good against. So I feel you just go with one or the other, which deck dev is obviously just better. This card kind of just ruins everyone. So yeah, 3 deck dev. I just kind of realized like they're not on anything for like directly for like the Lightsworn deck. I guess maybe Thunder King, but I guess maybe cross out 2, like siding against the Christie Swarm. I don't know. It's just a little weird. And I guess Mirror Hate, Deepers, Industrials, and then stuff for frogs. Even more stuff for frogs, as if deck dev isn't enough. But yeah, they won the tournament, so congrats to them for winning. Peak of the Beak 3. This video went a while, almost 50 minutes of me covering all these lists. But yeah, I just kind of get into it, just start breaking down all the decks, looking at them, and like, oh, I see this, I see that. That's weird. Ooh, that's cool. That's a good idea. So yeah, I just kind of naturally go through the deck list and see what they're all about. Some cool things. Definitely some cool lists. Rog experimenting with this crazy frog deck, and yeah, but leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I got more videos coming. I've been kind of dry on the content recently just because I wanted to get through this tournament first, but I got some more videos. And we got the big 2K tournament coming up next week that a bunch of people are going to in Smithfield, North Carolina. So I made an announcement video about that recently, so if you want to check that out too, I'll probably leave it in the description below. But thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.